you've got a market that could include Pittsburgh, depending on what Aaron Rodgers does, or Pittsburgh's evaluation of Will Howard. And then you've got Arizona, right? Would you mind hitting both Pittsburgh and Arizona's quarterback situations best you can tell here in the few minutes we have?
Yeah, left? I mean, I think Pittsburgh would like to have Aaron Rodgers back. They've been in touch. They've been in contact. I think there's some hope there. And Pelissero did a good job of explaining this Super Bowl Sunday. Like, the fact that he's already in contact with Mike McCarthy, the fact that he's going to decide before free agency, this is a good thing. So, there's definitely some smoke there with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
As far as Arizona, they have a tougher decision to make than Miami does. Like, feels like Miami is probably parting ways with Tua. With Kyler, he's due less money. He has played good football and has not, look, I think best case scenario for Kyler is he's cut and goes the Russell Wilson route of signing for, $1 million, the minimum, whatever it is, and just is a good value. But there's a new regime. And if you're Mike LaFleur, if you look at it and say, like, who are we going to get? It's better. And also we're paying for him anyway. I think Arizona, to me, is more of an open question because, like, when he's right, Kyler's still pretty good.
Right. Okay. And the timeline on all this is before the new league year in less than a month? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So this all should be handled, I think, before the middle of March.
And so what do you expect the free agency period to look like? Give me crystal ball it for me as you sit there from your post-President's Weekend ski lodge.
It's going to be very trade happy, I would imagine. Because the actual free agency is is probably not as talent fresh as you'd want. And teams are being smarter and more proactive about signing their own guys now. So free agency is not included as much talent as you want. So generally what smart teams do, and we saw a bunch of it last year, is who's available for trade. So that's where, to me, the sort of fun market is going to be is who can you trade for, what can you get, and how wild does it get? Because there's a whole group of, risk-happy GMs that will make trades and go, you know what, we will live with the results. And it could be a little wacky for us, but I think it'll be fun too.
And then the question is, the last one for you before I let you go, is the franchise tag situation and who's going to be allowed to be free and not. That it also includes, one of the best receivers that came out of Pittsburgh, right? And sure. Pickens. And then there's the Super Bowl MVP and Kenneth Walker III, who apparently used the parade podium to counsel the general manager on the bag. What do you got for me on that front, Ian?
So Ken Walker, there's a couple running backs who are up. Ken Walker and Breece Hall. I'd be a little surprised if they got tagged. Transition tag is interesting, though, because it's a couple $1 million less and it lets an agent go out and shop. I'm not saying that's happening, but would be certainly an interesting option, I think, for both those guys. The Pickens one stands out to me. Cowboys made an incredible trade last year, one of the best trades of the year, getting him. Mm-hmm. If they, do they do a long-term deal with him with David Mulgeta, the agent? Interesting. Possible. But I know a lot of teams are interested. I know they'll have some trade options. If they say, like, okay, we trade him for 3, but we can get a 2 back and let someone else do a long-term deal, is that beneficial for them? I think the tag and trade option for Pickens is fascinating as well.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.